Evan Brooks was 12 years old. He lived with his mother, Laura, on a small farm in Kansas. The farm was quiet, with fields of wheat that waved gently in the wind. Evan liked to run through the tall grass and watch the birds fly over the fields. He often helped his mother in the garden, pulling weeds and planting seeds. Life was simple, peaceful, and safe. Or at least, it had been. One evening, Evan and his mother were in the backyard. The sky was dark, filled with stars. Laura looked up at the sky and smiled. "It's beautiful tonight," she said. Evan nodded, pointing to a small group of stars that looked like a triangle. Suddenly, the sky changed. A strange shadow moved across the stars. Evan felt a chill. He looked up and saw a large shape, black and shining, moving fast through the atmosphere. It was not like any plane or meteor he had ever seen. It was too smooth, too perfect, and it moved too fast. Before he could scream, a bright light shone down from the ship. It was like a net of electricity that touched him and lifted him into the air. Laura screamed, reaching out to grab him, but the light was too strong. Evan felt himself pulled upward. The last thing he saw was his mother's terrified face. Then he was gone. The town was in chaos. People ran into their homes and locked doors. Lights flickered in the streets. Some thought it was a meteor strike, but no one knew for sure. The ship disappeared into the sky, leaving only a burning trail. Evan woke up inside a small, cold cage. The walls were made of dark metal, and strange lights flickered overhead. He could hear voices, high and sharp, speaking in a language he did not understand. Small creatures moved around, some taller than him, some shorter. Their eyes were bright and glowing, and they looked at him with curiosity and amusement. One of them came closer. It was taller, stronger, and wore armor that looked like metal skin. Its voice was rough, but it spoke a language Evan could somehow understand. "You are weak," it said. "Humans are weak. You will be broken." Evan shivered. He did not know what to say. The creature laughed and walked away. Other small children of different species were in cages nearby. They cried quietly or whispered to each other. Evan tried to comfort a small alien girl named Leary. "It's okay," he said. "We will be fine. We have to stay calm." Leary looked at him with wide eyes. "How can you be calm? They will hurt us." Evan swallowed hard. "I don't know, but we can't give them the fear they want. If we stay strong, maybe we can find a way out." Far away, in a hidden control center on Earth, Director Alan Rhodes watched the events unfold on a secure monitor. He was a tall man, with gray hair and calm eyes. He had been waiting for something like this, although he hoped it would never come. The monitor showed the Krellick ship and the children inside. Evan Brooks' life sign was highlighted. Rhodes spoke into a secure communicator. "Initiate Silent Horizon Fleet recall," he said. His voice was calm, but there was steel behind it. "Prepare all ships. We move for the boy immediately." Silent Horizon Fleet was Earth's secret. For decades, humans had pretended to be weak. Other species thought Earth was slow, backward, and easy to push around. But the truth was different. Earth had ships that could vanish, weapons that could destroy entire fleets, and soldiers who were trained from childhood to survive anything. Captain Mason Hale received the recall order aboard the flagship, Dawn Star. Mason was in his 40s, calm and experienced. He had seen battles in the outer galaxy, but never for a human child. He studied the order carefully and spoke to his bridge crew. "We move immediately," he said. "Time is short." Among the crew was Ava Brooks, Evan's older cousin. She had joined the fleet as a navigator, and she was one of the best. When she saw that her cousin was the kidnapped child, her hands tightened into fists. "We cannot fail," she said softly. "He is family. I will bring him back." The fleet prepared for jump. Cloaking fields were activated. Engines hummed as the ships moved silently into faster-than-light speed. No alien species would detect them. Humans had kept their power hidden for years, and tonight, it would remain a secret until the right moment. Inside the Krellick ship, Evan tried to understand where he was. The walls of his cage were smooth and cold. He could hear the footsteps of guards outside. Their laughter echoed in the corridors. He watched other children, frightened and quiet. Some were from planets far away. He tried to encourage them. "Don't be afraid," he whispered. "We can survive this." A small alien boy nodded. "You are brave," he said. "I am scared too." Evan smiled slightly. "We all are. But we must keep going. Maybe someone will come for us." The Krellick leader, Vrax, walked down the corridor. He was taller than the others, with dark green skin and red eyes that glowed in the dark. He looked at Evan and smiled cruelly. "This human child is strong in spirit," he said, "but flesh is weak. Soon he will learn his place." Evan looked at Vrax and did not speak. He felt fear, yes, but he also felt something else. Something inside him he did not know he had. A tiny spark of courage. Vrax laughed and left. Evan watched him go. "We will not give up," he whispered to the other children. "No matter what, we will stay alive." Back on Earth, Director Rhodes and the fleet moved quickly. Data from the Krellick ship had been analyzed for years. Humans had learned how these raiders operated. The fleet knew their patterns, their weaknesses, and their crimes. They had waited for this moment. Captain Mason Hale looked at the monitor showing Evan's location. "Prepare teams for boarding," he said. "We go in quietly. We take only what we need and get out. The child comes first." Ava's eyes were steady. "I will lead the navigation team. I will find him. I promise." Meanwhile, Evan tried to stay strong. He encouraged Leary and the other children. He thought of his mother and of the farm. He thought of the wheat fields and the warm sunlight. He remembered his mother telling him, "You are stronger than you think." Now he had to believe it. The Krellick ship moved closer to the black market station called Ravik's Den. This was where the raiders sold kidnapped children to the highest bidder. Evan tried not to cry. He held Leary's hand and whispered, "We will get through this." Unknown to the Krellick, Earth's secret fleet was already moving into position. Cloaked ships hovered near the asteroid belt, invisible to sensors. Silent Horizon Fleet had waited for decades for the right moment to act. That moment had come. Evan could hear the aliens laughing and shouting. He could hear chains clanging and metal doors opening. But deep inside, he felt a strange sense of hope. He did not know why, but he felt that humans were not as weak as the aliens thought. The stars outside the ship passed silently. The night seemed endless. But somewhere far away, ships moved at impossible speed, carrying humans who would stop at nothing to save a child. Evan curled up in the small cage, trying to sleep, but he could not. He thought of his mother, of his home, and of the other children. He whispered to himself, "We will survive. We must survive." At that moment, somewhere in the depths of space, Captain Mason Hale smiled slightly. "We are coming," he said, "and no one will stop us." The Krellick did not know that the galaxy was about to learn something they had never guessed. Humans were not defenseless. Humans were more dangerous than anyone could imagine. Evan, still small and scared, held on to that hope. He did not know how, but he knew that he would not give up. He was a human child, and humans never gave up. The first part of the journey had begun. The night was dark, and the stars were bright. Far away, cloaked ships waited in silence, ready to strike. Evan did not know it yet, but he was not alone. And one day soon, the Krellick would learn that if they tormented a human child, Earth would answer in full force. The Krellick ship moved steadily through space, toward Ravik's den. Inside, Evan sat quietly in his cage. His hands were sore from holding the bars, but he did not complain. He had learned to watch the guards, to listen to their footsteps, and to notice the patterns in how they moved. Even in fear, he tried to stay alert. Leary, the small alien girl, watched him nervously. "How do you stay calm?" she asked, in a whisper. Evan shrugged. I don't know. I just have to. If we panic, they will see it, and it will be worse. We need to be smart. Even if we are small, we can still try to survive. Other children looked at him with curiosity and hope. They had never met a human before, and something about his courage made them feel braver. Evan did not realize it, but he was already becoming a leader. The Krellick guards walked past the cages again. Evan noticed that one of them always paused for a moment at each row of cages. He remembered the exact sequence: 3 steps forward, pause, turn left, 2 steps, pause. He whispered to Leary, "If we wait for the right moment, we might be able to move without them noticing." Meanwhile, far away in the asteroid belt near Jupiter, the Silent Horizon fleet moved silently. Cloaked in special fields, the fleet was invisible to normal sensors. No one in the galaxy knew these ships existed. They were Earth's secret weapon, hidden for decades, waiting for the right time to show their power. Captain Mason Hale stood on the bridge of the Dawnstar. He looked at the holographic map of the Krellick ship and the route to Ravik's den. "We have a clear path," he said. "The cloaking fields are stable. We will remain hidden until the moment we strike." Ava Brooks, at the navigation station, checked every sensor carefully. "We can get close without detection," she said. Her voice was steady, but inside, she felt a nervous energy. Evan was her cousin, and she had trained her whole life for moments like this. She could not fail. On the Krellick ship, Evan noticed another thing. The cages were arranged in a circle, with the largest cage in the center. "That must be the high-value captives," he whispered. Leary's eyes widened. "You mean like me?" she asked. Evan shook his head. "No. You are small, but they want to sell us to make money. The bigger cages are for the rare or strong ones. That means someone really important might be in the center cage." Vrax, the Krellick leader, walked down the corridor. His armor clanged with every step. He stopped in front of Evan's cage and leaned down, studying him with glowing red eyes. "You are strong in spirit, human," he said, "but spirit does not stop the body from breaking. Soon, you will learn that." Evan clenched his fists. "I won't give up," he whispered to himself. "No matter what you do, I won't give up." Vrax laughed and left. The other guards followed him, their boots echoing in the metal corridors. Evan felt a little braver, knowing that even the leader thought he was strong in spirit. Back on the Dawnstar, Mason and his tactical officers prepared the boarding teams. "We need to move carefully," Mason said. "The Krellick have experience, but they do not expect Earth to act. We will use that advantage." Sergeant Cole Ward, leader of the boarding team, checked his equipment. "We go in quiet, get the child, and get out. We cannot risk harming the other children." His voice was firm, filled with experience. The soldiers nodded. Each of them had trained for years, preparing for exactly this kind of mission. Ava leaned over her console, studying the Krellick ship's path. "They are moving faster than normal," she said. "They must think they are safe. That makes our timing critical. If we wait too long, the black market station will see them coming." Mason nodded. "Prepare the faster-than-light jump," he said. "We move close, and then wait for my signal to strike." Inside the Krellick ship, Evan kept watching. He noticed that some guards were sloppy. One guard always scratched his head in the same spot before opening a cage. Another always checked his weapon before walking past. Evan memorized these small actions. He whispered to Leary and the other children, "If we pay attention, we can know what they will do before they do it." Leary looked at him, amazed. "You really think we can escape?" she asked. Evan nodded slowly. "I hope so. We have to try. If we do nothing, nothing will change. We have to keep watching and be ready." Outside, the Silent Horizon fleet moved closer to Ravik's den. Cloaked ships drifted silently, almost like shadows in space. The fleet's engines made no sound, and sensors could not detect them. It was as if they were not there. Mason spoke to his officers. "We are ready. Boarding teams, prepare for zero-gravity entry." We will approach from 3 points. No one will expect us. Timing is everything. Ava checked her navigation coordinates again. We will enter through the cargo bay doors, she said. They are weakly defended, and we can avoid the main hall where the Krellick keep weapons. Inside the ship, Evan's hope began to grow. He noticed that the guards' patrols were predictable. He whispered to the children, "When the guard in front of us steps away, we move closer to the door. We have to be ready. I don't know how we will escape yet, but we will try." The hours passed slowly. Evan counted the footsteps of the guards, memorizing every turn and pause. Leary kept close, listening to every word. Other children started to follow Evan's lead, feeling safer knowing someone was thinking for them. Back on the Dawn Star, Mason gave the order to prepare small transport pods for boarding. "Remember," he said, "stealth first, speed second. We cannot be detected." Ava's fingers flew over the console. She calculated the exact jump points, avoiding all sensors. She knew that one mistake could ruin the entire mission. "We are ready," she said. Sergeant Cole Ward led his soldiers into the boarding pods. They moved silently, floating through the void of space. Each pod was small, fast, and quiet. They carried only what was necessary: weapons, tools, and determination. Evan felt the first tremor as the Krellick ship entered a gravity field near Ravik's den. He noticed the guards moving faster, anxious to reach the station. He whispered to Leary, "Stay close. We will have to act soon." Suddenly, the ship shook slightly. Evan looked up. He could not see what was happening outside, but he felt something different. There was a hum in the walls, a vibration in the floor. The guards paused, confused. In the command center of the Krellick ship, alarms began to flash. Sensors picked up anomalies they could not identify. Vrax looked at the screens, his eyes narrowing. "What is happening?" he shouted. "Check the outer sensors. Someone is hiding in the void." Evan realized something. "They are coming," he whispered. "Someone is coming to save us." Leary's eyes widened. "You mean humans?" Evan nodded. "Yes, I think humans are coming." Outside, the Silent Horizon fleet positioned itself around the Krellick ship. Cloaked vessels drifted close, unseen and unheard. Boarding teams prepared to enter through weak points. The fleet waited for the signal from Captain Mason Hale. Inside the ship, Evan noticed the guards moving faster, more nervous. He whispered to the children, "Get ready. When they come, we have to stay calm. Do not scream. Do not panic. We follow the plan." Hours passed. Every sound seemed louder to Evan. Every footstep of the guards made him tense. But he also felt a strange hope growing inside him. Humans had always seemed ordinary. But he knew now they were not. Something was coming, something strong and fast, something that could not be stopped. Finally, Mason's voice came through a secure channel to the boarding teams. "Move now," he said. Pods detached, silent and swift, moving toward the Krellick ship. Zero-gravity Marines floated toward the cargo doors. Evan felt a strange vibration, a hum that was not from the ship. The air seemed to shimmer slightly. The guards looked around, confused. Something was happening, but they did not understand what. Evan held Leary's hand tightly. "Stay close," he whispered. "It is time." The boarding teams hit the cargo bay doors with silent cutting tools. The metal walls fell away without a sound. Marines floated inside, moving carefully, swiftly. Their armor was black, smooth, and strange. The Krellick had never seen humans like this. Evan could not see them clearly, but he felt a new energy in the air. The humans were here, and they were coming for him. The Krellick shouted in alarm. Guards ran to defend the children, but they were confused by the sudden attack. The boarding teams moved silently, taking out guards without alerting the others. Evan felt hope fill him. He knew this was the moment. Humans were here, and he would not be left behind. The first wave of rescue had begun. The boarding teams had entered the Krellick ship. They moved silently, floating through the zero-gravity corridors, their weapons ready. Their armor was black and smooth, and their presence was strange and terrifying to the Krellick. Guards ran to respond, shouting in their harsh language, but they could not find the attackers. The humans seemed to appear out of nowhere. Inside his cage, Evan Brooks held Leary close. "Something is happening," he whispered. "I can feel it. Humans are here." The other children watched him, some with fear, some with hope. "Do you really think they can save us?" asked a small alien boy. Evan nodded. "I know they can. Humans are strong. You will see." Suddenly, the walls of the cage shimmered. A small panel opened, and a quiet voice said, "Come with us." Evan's heart leapt. He stepped forward, holding Leary's hand. The children followed him cautiously. Soldiers in black armor guided them through the corridors. Every step was careful, precise. The Marines moved like shadows, taking out any guard that got in the way. Vrax, the Krellick leader, appeared at the far end of the corridor. His red eyes glowed with anger. "How is this possible?" he shouted. "No human should be able to board my ship." One of the soldiers, Sergeant Cole Ward, stepped forward. "Humans can do more than you think," he said calmly. He fired a small energy net at a guard who charged him, trapping him instantly. The Krellick shrieked in fear and confusion. Evan felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. He had never seen humans fight before, but he had heard stories. Now he saw it with his own eyes. They were fast, smart, and precise. Every move counted. Ava Brooks guided the children along a side corridor. "Stay close," she said. "Do not make any sudden movements. We move fast, but carefully." Evan led Leary and the other children through the corridors. He kept track of the guards' patrols, remembering every turn, every pause. "This way," he whispered. "We can get out through the cargo bay." The Krellick tried to fight back, but they were confused. The boarding teams moved like ghosts. Guards disappeared without warning. Weapons that should have been dangerous were knocked aside with ease. The Krellick had never faced anything like this. Vrax bellowed, "Do not let them reach the cages. Take the children." But it was too late. The Marines reached the central area, where most of the children were kept. They cut the locks on the cages quietly. The children stared at them in amazement. Some of them were crying. Others were frozen with fear. Evan helped Leary out of her cage. "We are safe," he whispered. "We just have to follow them." The soldiers moved the children quickly, keeping them low and close to the walls. The corridors were narrow, and the Krellick tried to block the way. But the humans were faster. Every time a guard appeared, a soldier in black armor took them down without alerting the others. In the chaos, Evan noticed something. The Krellick were afraid. They did not know who these humans were or where they came from. Their confidence, which had seemed so strong, was breaking. He whispered to Leary, "See? They are scared. We can do this. We will get out." Leary nodded, gripping his hand tightly. "I hope you are right," she said. The boarding teams led the children into a larger corridor that connected to the cargo bay. The Krellick were trying to regroup, but the humans anticipated every move. They moved quickly, silently, with no hesitation. Sergeant Cole Ward spoke to his team. "Keep moving. We are almost at the exit. Do not stop until the children are safe." Evan noticed one of the cages in the center. It was larger than the others. A strange hum came from it. "That must be the high-value captives," he whispered. He wondered if anyone there was even more important than him. The Krellick leader, Vrax, tried to attack directly. He charged at the soldiers, swinging a long staff weapon. But Ava and her team were ready. They used energy nets and stun weapons to block him. For the first time, Vrax realized that these humans were not ordinary. Evan and the other children followed silently. He encouraged them. "Keep going. Don't stop. They can't win if we keep moving." The corridors led to the cargo bay. Huge doors separated them from the outside, where the pods from the Silent Horizon fleet were waiting. The children's hearts pounded. They could see a small opening in the far wall. It was their way out. The humans set up a protective barrier around the children. "Do not run ahead," Sergeant Ward said. "Stay together. We will get you out safely." The Krellick regrouped and tried to form a line to block the exit. They shouted, but their voices seemed weak. The humans had already taken the advantage. Every step they made was planned. Every move was precise. Evan helped Leary move through the corridor. "Almost there," he whispered. "Just a little farther." The Krellick leader, Vrax, tried one last attack. He raised his staff, aiming at the children. But Captain Mason Hale's voice came over a comm channel. "Hold your fire," he said. "We take him without killing anyone unless necessary." The humans used a combination of speed and strategy. They knocked Vrax's staff away and pushed him back. The Krellick were forced to retreat. Fear had replaced their confidence. For the first time, they realized humans could not be beaten easily. Evan and Leary reached the exit. Other children followed. Soldiers guided them into the small transport pods that hovered outside the cargo bay. The pods were safe and ready to take them back to the Dawnstar. Evan looked back at the ship. He saw the Krellick running, shouting, confused, and afraid. He realized that humans had won without needing to destroy the entire ship. Strategy and courage had been enough. Inside the pod, Leary held onto Evan tightly. "Thank you," she whispered. "You saved us." Evan shook his head. "It wasn't me alone. The humans came for us. They are amazing. You will see. They will get everyone out safely." The pods moved quickly through space, avoiding detection. The Krellick tried to chase them, but the cloaked ships of the Silent Horizon fleet covered the escape. The children could see the glowing stars outside and feel the quiet hum of the engines. Back on the Dawnstar, Ava Brooks monitored the rescue. "All children accounted for?" she asked Sergeant Ward. "Yes," he replied. "Everyone is safe. Not a scratch." "The Krellick didn't expect us at all." Mason Hale nodded. "Good work. We return home. Earth will hear about this soon enough." Evan sat in the pod, watching the stars. He thought about the farm, about his mother, and about the courage he had found inside himself. He knew that humans were not ordinary. They were strong, smart, and unstoppable when it came to protecting those they cared about. The other children looked at him in awe. They had never seen humans before, and now they knew humans were different. Humans were dangerous when they needed to be, but also kind and brave. The pods docked with the Dawnstar. The children were brought inside, and medical teams checked them for injuries. Evan felt a wave of relief. They were safe. Finally, they were safe. Ava Brooks hugged her cousin tightly. "You are okay," she said. "I promised I would get you back." "And I did." Evan smiled, feeling exhausted but happy. "Thank you," he said. "I knew you would come." Captain Mason Hale entered the room. "You are safe now," he said. "The Krellick will think twice before touching another human child. Earth does not forgive when its children are harmed." Evan realized something important. Humans were not weak. Humans were not ordinary. Humans protected what they loved with everything they had. And now, the galaxy would know. The children from other planets looked at Evan and the humans around him. They had seen courage, skill, and strength. They had been rescued by a species they had thought was small and weak. Now they knew the truth. Humans were different. Evan stood tall, even though he was still small. He felt proud. He had survived, helped others, and seen humans in action. He understood now why the galaxy underestimated Earth for so long. Humans had hidden their true strength, and now they had shown it. The Dawnstar prepared to leave the area. The rescued children were safe. The Krellick had been stopped, and Earth's secret fleet had proven itself. The galaxy would never see humans the same way again. Evan looked out at the stars, thinking of home, thinking of his mother, and thinking of the courage he had discovered inside himself. The journey was far from over. But for now, he knew they had won, and the Krellick would never forget that humans would fight to the last breath to protect their children.